Deep in the heart of Indonesian folklore, there's a name that makes children run home before the sun sets. Meet Wewe Gombel. You might think she's just another campfire story used to scare kids into behaving, but the roots of this legend are dark, ancient, and deeply unsettling. Today, we're diving into the mystery of the vengeful spirit who steals children away into the twilight shadows. Stay close, keep the lights on, and whatever you do, don't look behind you. Imagine a towering, hunched figure with skin like weathered bark and hair that reaches her ankles in tangled, filthy knots. Her most terrifying and iconic feature? Her massive, pendulous breasts, which she uses to hide the children she kidnaps from the eyes of searchers. She doesn't look like a typical ghost. She looks like a distorted, mourning mother whose grief has curdled into something monstrous. She dwells in the dense foliage of the banyan tree, waiting for the light to fade. This story of her origin is a tragedy. Long ago, she was a human woman who loved her husband dearly, but suffered the heartbreak of being unable to conceive. After her husband's betrayal and the village's cruelty, she was driven into a state of total madness and eventually committed suicide. Her spirit, consumed by the unfulfilled desire to be a mother, transformed into the Wewe Gombel. She isn't just evil. She's a manifestation of social stigma and a broken heart turned into a predatory force.
She doesn't take just any child. Legend says Wewe Gombel specifically targets those who are neglected, mistreated, or ignored by their parents. In her twisted mind, she is saving them from a life of misery. If a child is left wandering alone during Maghrib, the transition from day to night, she sees it as an invitation. She preys on the vulnerability of the lonely and the unloved, turning a parent's worst nightmare into her own version of a holy rescue mission.
When the sky turns a bruised purple and the call to prayer echoes in the distance, she begins her hunt. She might mimic the soothing voice of a loved one, or simply wait in the deep shadows of a banyan tree. The child feels a sudden chill, a sense of being watched, and then absolute silence. Before they can even think to scream, she sweeps them up into her embrace and vanishes. To the villagers, it's as if the child simply evaporated into the humid evening air. She takes her captives to a hidden dimension, often perceived as the top of a tall tree or a cave invisible to human eyes. Here, the world is gray, cold, and suffocating. The children aren't physically hurt at first, but they are trapped in a state of deep trance. They can often see their parents searching for them, crying out their names just a few feet away, but they cannot respond. It's a psychological prison where time seems to stand still and hope begins to wither.
This is where the legend gets truly disgusting. To keep the children under her spell and prevent them from crying out, she feeds them what they perceive as delicious delicacies. In reality, she is stuffing their mouths with mud, raw feces, and writhing earthworms. This prevents them from speaking or making a sound. By the time they are found, if they ever are, their senses are so warped that they might not even recognize the taste of real food or the voice of their own mother.
To get a child back, the entire community must perform a ritual called garabek. They gather around the village with bamboo instruments, pots, and pans, making as much noise as possible. The cacophony is meant to annoy and startle the spirit, as legend says she absolutely hates loud, chaotic sounds. As the villagers march through the dark woods, they shout the child's name repeatedly, hoping to break the supernatural veil between our world and her hidden nest. Sometimes the ritual works. The child is found naked and dazed, often at the base of a tree or in a spot the search party had already checked a dozen times. But the trauma remains forever. They speak of a giant mother who held them close and smelled of wet earth and decay. They are often found with mud still packed in their mouths, a physical and chilling reminder of the nightmare they just barely escaped. They return home, but they are never quite the same child again.
Parents in Indonesia still use this legend as a stern warning today. Don't play outside during Maghrib, they say, or Wewe Gombel will get you. It's a cultural mechanism to keep children safe during the dangerous hours of dusk when visibility is low. But beyond the safety warning, it's a reminder to parents to cherish and protect their children, lest a vengeful spirit decides she can do a better job. The myth serves as a guardian of family bonds, born from a spirit's eternal loneliness.
Even in the age of smartphones and skyscrapers, reports of Wewe Gombel persist. People claim to see a tall, shadowy figure standing by the roadside near old banyan trees in the middle of Jakarta. Some believe she has adapted to the urban sprawl, hiding in the dark corners of abandoned buildings or construction sites. The fear is primal, transcending time and technology, proving that some myths never truly die. They just find new places to hide and wait for the sun to go down. So, next time you're out and the sun starts to dip below the horizon, remember the legend of Wewe Gombel. Keep your children close and your eyes open. The shadows are long, and she might be closer than you think. If you enjoyed this journey into the dark side of folklore, don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates. Now, look behind you. Just kidding, or am I? Sleep well tonight, if you can. Don't forget to like and subscribe for more updates.